Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how to properly release the golf club to get into a forward shaft lean position at impact. So we need to do three things to get into a proper release. The first thing we have to do is we have to uncock our wrist, then we have to bow our lead wrist, and then we have to supinate and turn over our lead hand and our lead forearm. And we have to do all three of these things a certain amount. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is uncocking our wrist and the golf club during the downswing. So for a lot of golfers, when they think about uncocking and unhinging the golf club, they think of a cast motion. And honestly, if you don't rotate your body towards the target and all you do is uncock your wrist, it is a cast. But we have to realize that if we're working towards the target and we uncock our wrist post-impact after the golf ball, we have to realize that it's a big power move. So we have to uncock our wrist at some point in the downswing. This will also help us low point the golf club at a certain spot. So instead of thinking about uncocking the wrist as a weak move in the downswing and a cast move, think about uncocking the wrist after the golf ball post impact. Then it's a big power move and it's going to help you get the correct release motion. The second thing we're going to talk about is bowing of the lead wrist. And this is how we're going to get our handle forward and get that shaft lean position. So bowing of the lead wrist from down the line will look something in this manner. All bowing is if I stand from a side view angle up to the camera, bowing is where the logo of the golf glove will point towards the camera in this manner. And from this position, if we come down to impact, we'll be in a bowed position with a forward shaft lean. And we have to realize where the bow of the wrist comes from. We don't get to the impact zone and just try to bow our wrist. Then we'll never get into that position. Instead, we have to relax our wrist and realize that the change of direction bows our lead wrist for us. Because the golf club is very heavy once we get a loose grip pressure and relax our wrist. So once we have a loose grip and we relax our wrist, once we change direction towards the target, then that's where the bowing of the lead wrist comes from. And the last thing we're going to talk about is rolling over our lead forearm and our lead wrist in this manner. This is called supination. And we have to remember that if we bow our lead wrist and get into a forward shaft lean position, our club head will naturally tend to open up. That's why we have to roll over our hands and supinate our lead forearm to get this club face into a squared position. And when I show a lot of golfers this type of release, they automatically think that it's going to hook miles to the left for a right-handed golfer. And honestly, if we go to the top of the backswing position and if we don't rotate our body and if we just do this with our hands and arms, then yes, it's most likely going to hook. But we have to realize that this supination and this rolling over of our lead hand and our lead forearm is a slow, gradual motion. And at impact, the logo of our golf glove should be pointing towards the target. And once we get into this forward shaft lean position with a squared club face, then we could arc it off with our body's rotation. We have to realize that if our body's rotating towards the target and we do the supination move, we will never flip the golf club. But during the downswing, if we stall out and stop our body's rotation and just flick our arms in this manner, then it's going to be a flip. So remember, continue rotating and supinate and roll over your lead arm in a gradual motion. Then all you're going to do is you're going to compress the golf ball better and you're going to have a better release. So a great drill to feel the correct release and the correct wrist motions at impact is to grab your phone. A lot of my online clients already seen this drill before, but grab your phone and what we're going to do is get your phone into your lead hand and let the phone touch the inside part of your wrist in this manner. And keep this pressure point throughout the whole drill. At no point should the phone get away from your lead arm and your lead wrist in this manner. So keep this pressure point and go to the top of the backswing and then we're going to come down and roll over our hands and arm and supinate in this manner. And once we get this feel down, we could get our trail hand, place it on top of the phone, and see what our trail hand release will feel like as well. So please try this drill out. So when we practice, remember to do a lot of the phone drills in between hitting golf shots. And remember that uncocking the golf club at our wrist and getting our lead arm and the golf club in a straight line is not a bad thing, as long as we have correct downswing sequence and the uncocking of the wrist and the golf club happens after the golf ball in this manner. So when we're practicing, let's not get overcomplicated, and let's try to get into a post-impact position where the golf club uncocks and we release the golf club and the club head gets into a slightly turned over position in this manner. And our lead arm and the golf club will be in a straight line. Let's try to get into this position, and let's try to go to the top of the backswing and then get back into that position without thinking about hitting the golf ball. If we try to get a smooth swing and just get into this position, then we're going to hit the ball automatically. So it's going to look something like this. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe to help my channel grow. And for online lessons on Skillist, I'll leave a link in the description below. Thanks guys.